This is activity number 10 in the Level 1 Electronics series. And in this activity, we're going to add a switch to the 5 LED rainbow we just made in activity 9. To see this activity and all the others in the series, visit jb.works and at the search prompt enter the TMT code shown at the bottom of the screen. So this is our 5 LED circuit, and what I've done is instead of having the LEDs directly connected to 3 volts, they're now going via a button. So when I push the button, the LEDs turn on. Now this is the circuit for our 5 LEDs rainbow. And the only real difference between that and the one in the previous activity is that we've put a button in. So I'm not going to bother showing you everything, but essentially it's identical to the previous circuit, except we've added a button here. So the power goes in from 3 volts, heads to the button, goes from the button to the resistor, the 1K resistor, and pressing the button turns the lights on and off. Other than that, this is identical to the circuit in activity 9. For this activity, you need a charged JackBord, a JackBord top, and 17 female short jumper wires. Right, now we can start building it. I've got my power connector ready. I'm going to assume that you've already looked at the video from activity 9 and you know how to build it. So all I'm going to do here is focus on what's different. And the different part is that we take our 3 volt line and instead of going directly to the resistor, we're going to go to the button. So 3 volts to the button, and then we take another line from the button, and then that goes on to the 1K resistor. And from this point on, everything else is identical to the circuit in activity 9. And we've seen how this works, so there we go. Okay, now take a look at this image, and we basically see we've got the 3 volt jumper going from here, and it goes into pin 1 of the button. And then pin 2 of the button comes out and goes into the 1K resistor. And from this point on, the circuit is basically identical to that of activity 9. One thing to look at with the circuit is that right now I've got the LEDs all powered from 3 volts. So when I push the button, they don't all light up. And this is because the 3 volt power doesn't have enough energy to illuminate all of the LEDs when I push the button. So if I move the power line from the 3 volts to the 5 volt pin, and now I press the button, they all turn on. And the reason for that is that with 5 volts, you're getting more power, and that gives it the ability to drive more LEDs. And another thing you can experiment with this circuit, an experiment you can do, is to try different values of resistor. So try it with the 10K or the 100K in series and see what happens. For more information, visit jb.works.